called capital, and I don't mean the bozos in Washington, D.C. or Madison. I mean the capital, hopefully, that's in your pocket. I want to talk about two kinds of it. The first one is social capital. And I'd like you all to close your eyes for just about 10 seconds. And I'd like you to think about what your community is. Who is your community? And you can shout out words, family maybe.
All of you. Family.
Okay, you don't have to shout it out.
Neighbors.
You don't have to. But hold that in your mind. Hold that image of your community. Now think about the weakest, least healthy person in that community. Now think about how that community would be different if that person wasn't that way. Okay? Now we're going to talk about the second kind of capital, and that's called physical capital. I want you to do the same thing. I want you to think about your community again, but I want you to think about where is it geographically located? What does it physically look like? Think about the buildings, think about the trees, think about the green spaces, or the lack of green spaces. Think about all of it in your mind and hold it there. Now think about the ugliest part of it, the sickest part of it. And what would change in your community if that wasn't there? And I'm going to suggest that those two things, those places, those abandoned lots, those fast food restaurants, that those are deeply connected to the sickness and the people that you saw in your mind as well. So the last thing I'm going to do, because I know we all want to go home and go to bed, is I'm going to ask you to think about where are you in those spaces and with those people. What's your relationship with the sickest person in your community? What's your relationship with the ugliest part physically of your community? And how would you improve those things? And then I'm going to ask you to make a commitment, and you don't need to say it out loud, but I'm going to ask you to do it internally. I'm going to ask you to say to yourself, this is one thing I can do, whether it's going and throwing a packet of seeds over the fence into the abandoned lot, or it's going and buying a local chicken instead of a McGrill, whatever, from that place with the arches. What is the one thing